Good morning, Delray Beach. I'm Amanda.
Howdy, I'm Jamel.
I was not expecting that one.
I know, right?
I was not expecting that one.
Yeah.
Well, we are here at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, right in the heart of Delray Beach.
Yes, we are here. And actually, I was going to greet with the song that Nancy Stewart gave, but I just left it out.
Yeah. Well, that's for the after show. His after show, we have a very wonderful song he's going to perform with his guitar.
Yes.
You're still on spring break, I think, in your head.
Yeah, I mean, I was able to get a tan.
Yeah, you were
Well, on spring break, what did you do over spring break?
I went skiing in Utah. It was really fun. It was my daughter and my first time skiing. My husband grew up skiing. I did not. We grew up water skiing in Florida. But yeah, we had a great time.
Majority of people, when it's spring break, they come
here
to the beach or whatever.
Yes,
and now,
but when you live by the beach, we had to run to the opposite.
They look for all of the crazy people go north.
Well, it was hilarious. So when we were there, all these people we kept hearing, "Oh, I'm from Florida. I'm from Florida." And I was like, "Oh, we all did really run here."
So y'all just took like 2 buses. And,
everybody, the whole state. We all just went to snow.
So we got to get away. Everybody came to.
Yeah, but because we have these beautiful beaches here every day.
Right.
It doesn't compare. So I know a lot of people do still go to Bahamas. I had a lot of friends in the Bahamas,
right.
But I was like, no, I want the opposite. So we went.
Well, I think one thing that worked out for me, I was able to go out to Seattle, and it was like knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone because I had a chance to see my in-laws, and the kids had a chance to see their grandparents. But my son was also invited to play in a football tournament over there with the team that's from Oregon and that Washington area. So he did a pretty good job. They went out there, they won their tournament.
Was it different for him playing there versus here?
I think it was.
The air is different. Like there's a lot of things that are very different from here.
The biggest thing is like he was on the field probably for like 2 minutes and he's come back. My chest hurt. I was like, the air is thinner, but
it's so different.
He's somebody. He gets on the field. He gives 110%. So I can tell him he kept grabbing his chest, but I said, take your time, calm down. But did pretty well. Now we got invited to come back and play in their tournament in Idaho in a couple weeks. So
you guys are traveling.
So guess what? Save me some potatoes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what do they have there? Yeah. Well, we're excited to hear what happens.
It's like, what do they have in Idaho? There's no football in Idaho.
I don't know what happens.
Well, I think instead of in Idaho, the footballs are not made out of pig skin; they're made out of potato skins. I'm sorry.
Sustainable. It's very sustainable. It's very sustainable.
Very sustainable football over there, Idaho.
Well, there's always a lot of things happening here.
Right.
So for people who didn't go away, and I think there are still people on spring break, I heard this week, because we still have the traffic. Like a real Delray resident, we're like, the traffic is so bad. As a business owner, I'm like, yay, stay longer. But as a resident, I'm like, okay, you can go home now. But there's so many fun things happening. So last night, we got to go over to the Achievement Center, where the 2 of us are on the board, and talk about the home tour, which is one of the big fundraisers for the Achievement Center. And it was a blast this year. People had a great time.
It was a blast. People got a chance to tour different homes. And actually, people that didn't know about the Achievement Center also had an opportunity to learn more about the Achievement Center.
And they got to tour it yesterday too,
yes.
Which is great. It's a great organization here in town, serving our local community, which is so important.
Very, very important. Now, another organization, the Delray Rocks Youth Organization.
Yes.
So they have a couple age. So there is one age group that hasn't lost a game, I think, in the past 3 years. The kids started playing together when they were 8 years old. Now they're 10. So the past 3 years they haven't lost. So now they beat every team here in Florida. So now they say, you know what, we need to take our talents elsewhere.
Yes, they do.
So they're going to Louisiana this summer to play in a tournament. And I think the cost per child is like $500 per child. So they're looking for people to support the program. And you guys can connect with the Delray Rocks Youth Organization.
You guys were so wonderful before and helped get a goalpost for them, because they did not have that. So those of you that are out there and watching and love what's happening with this youth organization, now's your opportunity. Sponsor a kid. Let them have this like once in a lifetime experience, frankly, to go and play. So
they have, I think it's probably 3 different teams that are actually going. But I think it's a good opportunity for these kids, because I remember growing up here, we never really got a chance to leave this area. We stayed here in South Florida. So giving these kids opportunity to go elsewhere to showcase their talents and have fun and do some team bonding is really good.
Changing lives.
And then next Wednesday at the OG. So a big thing for kids is signing day going on to college.
Yes.
Right. So now it has matriculated down to high schools.
Oh.
So and this will be the first time. So at the OG next Wednesday, the 13-year-olds, these kids were 7th and 8th graders, or 8th graders, majority of them 8th graders. They'll have their signing day of what high school they will be attending.
That's really special.
Next Wednesday at OG, so I think
How many kids?
So there's 34 kids.
Wow.
And they're choosing schools from, you're talking about schools from Miami all the way up to Palm Beach Gardens.
Oh, that's great.
So it just shows how football has changed so much.
Yeah.
When we grew up, you went to a school that you grew up in. But now kids, they have these choice programs, so kids can really go anywhere.
That's wonderful.
Now, but I think it's a great opportunity for the kids. It will be a good showing, good event. So if you're not doing anything, you want to come out and see the kids sign. Not really sign, but basically commit
announce where they're going.
I think it'll be a good thing, and it's the first time that this has ever happened.
This is very cool, and I think for especially a lot of these young men that don't go on to college, but this is such an important part of their lives. Celebrating that next phase is a big deal.
Right. So I had to give a shout out to Coach Roger Durham, Coach Hot Rod for putting that together and making it happen for these kids. So that's.
And then more events. We have Art Walk, First Friday Art Walk. I'm already ready for the weekend, which the DDA and the CRA put on, and it's a lot of fun. So you can see all of the local artists and buy some really special things.
Yes, I agree.
Well, we have two really incredible guests today. Do you want to welcome on our first one?
Yes. So let's bring on our first guest, and I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, but I'm gonna let her do it. If I pronounce
his name is Chris.
Oh.
Welcome on, Chris. He is the sustainability coordinator from the city of Delray Beach.
That was a joke.
Good morning. Well, we are excited to have you on. So for those of you who've been watching our show for a long time, we have Kent on regularly.
Yes.
And you are part of this incredible team that is focused on sustainability here.
I am. I've started beginning of January, and still in those learning phases, but it's been a good experience so far. So
great. Well, we're really excited to have you here in Delray. I think it's something that's so important, especially being a beach town, to have people that are really focused on making sure that our town can survive all of the climate change.
Yeah, and I like what the city of Delray does when it comes to educating everybody here in regards to sustainability. So is it Earth Month? Because I know it's a whole big month of celebrations and awareness and different things that you guys have going on. So we can talk about some of those events that you have.
It is. We've got Earth Month going on all month. We've got events spread out through the month. We've got webinars, that focus on a lot of our different programs, the tree planting program, greenhouse gas reduction, invading seas. We've got an interesting one with a bunch of little short videos that kind of explains some of the fundamental basics of, terminology of, useful for talking about climate change. On the 20th, we've got a bunch of presentations. I will be giving two separate ones. One on HERS ratings. I call it how many miles per gallon does your house get? And then another one on benchmarking buildings. So it's a project we're working on in the city right now to basically look at all of the energy use in the whole city and quantify that in terms of greenhouse gases so that we can set goals for meeting our 50% reduction by 2030 and 100% by 2050 goals.
Wow.
So the whole month is filled with all kinds of events related to climate change, with the big thing right now being that we are drafting our climate action plan for the city. And this will tie into the larger climate action plan for the regional, and we'll set goals for the city and work toward achieving them.
Wow, that's amazing. And I think we've talked about this before. It is so incredible because we are still a small town. Like we all talk about the traffic and all the things because it does seem very busy, but we are still, in the grand scheme of things, a small town. So to have an office dedicated to this and be setting these plans and goals that are action plans instead of just talking about, oh, we should do this. You guys are putting it to paper to figure out what is the first step and the next step to make this happen.
Yeah, we're systematically looking at, what are the issues, what are our problems, what are our goals for addressing those problems, and then what are specific strategies for achieving those goals. And so, one of the biggest things right now that you had mentioned, about the education, is trying to understand what's important to the people in Delray. So we'll have a survey coming out soon that kind of asks a bunch of questions about, what do the people of Delray think is the most important? What do they want to see their tax dollars used for? What do they want to see the city going for? And so keep your eye out for that. We'll have that, but we really, would like the public input.
Where do we get this survey?
So it will be posted on multiple social networking. It's something that we're going to promote. So I'm not sure all of the avenues that we will use, but it should be readily available through the city's website, certainly the Office of Sustainability and Resilience website.
That's wonderful.
So I have a question for each individual person right now under your voice. What's something small that all of us can do to really just help, even if it's just something either in our homes, at work, like what's something small that we can do?
Honestly, I think the most important thing that everybody can do right now is really get some more education about what the issues really are. There's so much misinformation out there right now, and some of it's put out there intentionally by people with financial interests that would stand to lose when some of these new technologies, emergent technologies, come and become our standard. So really, go out and get past, wade through the misinformation, but also let your public elected officials know what you want. It's extremely important. If they don't know, we take our direction from them. They take their direction from the people of the city.
Right.
So the single most important thing anybody can do is just become more involved, become more educated about it.
Great.
Great advice.
Is there a website that people can go to look at all of the different events?
Absolutely. So the Office of Sustainability and Resilience has a section on the Delray Beach website where we'll have all of our events listed, all of our current initiatives that we've got going on. Also on the city's calendar, there should be all of the different events posted at this point for the whole month of April. Please join us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much
Thank you
for
for all the
joining
hard
us.
work that you do and your
Thank you.
team. And we really are excited to see everything that you're working on.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Well, one thing when it comes to the education piece, my football coach in college used to he's tell us, he said, a lot of people feels that knowledge is power.
Yep.
However, he took it a little further. He said, without information, there is no knowledge. So information is what our power is. So information, you got to be able to obtain it, retain it, and be able to apply it to make it become knowledge. So they're doing it. They're providing the knowledge out there. So you got to educate yourself.
Yeah,
like
100%.
big time. So
100%.
yes.
Well, our next guest is a fan favorite.
Well, you know what? Before we even bring her on.
Oh, okay.
So let's not bring her on yet. So we're gonna take like a little 2-second power. I want to do it. I'm gonna interview you for a second. All right.
Oh, Never good. Never good when he decides to do something different.
I know, right?
Should I just leave now? Should I just run? All right, go ahead.
So no, I know over at you have a little while and you have
House of Perna.
And you have House of Perna. Because I heard other people talking about it last night at the event, and they didn't know the difference.
Yes.
So I figured, tell the people the difference between House of Perna and a little while.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I didn't realize there was confusion, so thank you, because now I can clear this up for all you. So the House of Perna was my first business here in Delray when I moved here over a decade ago, which is crazy to say out loud. Makes me feel very old. But so we stop! Delray dermatology. I need some fixing. But so we are a women's apparel brand. So we design and create pieces from our studio, which is currently in the Arts Warehouse. So we make clothing and accessories. So we sell online. We do sell some of my things at A Little Wild, and then we sell to other stores. Like we have a jacket that we just shipped out to Anthropology, which we're very excited about. We are actually creating products here in Delray Beach.
Are they sustainable products?
Yes,
I'm
they
just playing.
are. They are. Yes, that's why I get excited when Chris and Kent come, because sustainability has been a big part of my business since we started. And there's big ways you can do it as a business, and there's small ways. And we started all of our things we are making in small batch, so we're not making millions of pieces that sit being wasted in some warehouse. We do digital printing, which uses less water when we do our prints. So there's a lot of things that we implement, which I love talking about. So don't get me started there because it
see
can be
you're
a
getting
whole
excited.
show.
I'm sorry to ask that question,
I know,
Lisa.
yes. Chris and I will talk later. Chris will be excited about what I'm doing. But and then A Little Wild is a store. So I opened A Little Wild almost 3 years ago with a business partner, Sky Dyer, who's amazing. And we have women's, kids, and gifts in there. So you can come in, you shop, and you get to take it and go home. Whereas at my studio, we're making it, the process is a little bit longer. We are a proper functioning atelier, so we are actually making pieces. So we do custom and we do small batch. Yes, but so that is the difference. But yeah, you can always find my stuff at A Little Wild. So for people, I know there was a lady yesterday that he's referring to who was asking about my clothes. You can come and shop, and the girls in my store, I'm not always there, but we have the greatest team in the world, and they're happy to help you.
Yes. Good job.
Thank you. Was my elevator pitch okay? I didn't know where we were going, guys. Did I pass my test? Did I get a gold star?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you want to welcome on our guest
Yeah,
that I was so excited to talk about.
And this is my sister from another mister.
Yes.
So we're going to bring on Miss Nancy Stewart. Yes.
Hi. And you are our favorite. We are always excited to have you on. You really are such an important force here, not just in Delray, but the greater South Florida area.
Yes. No, I agree. I think when you look back to and just look over the past decade of events that have happened in Delray and why a lot of people fell in love with Delray, they probably don't know, but she's one of the individuals behind the scenes that brought a lot of people to Delray. You know, when you talk about the Garlic Festival, you know, you talk about bacon and bourbon, you talk about the wine and seafood, you know,
so
all of
many.
Yes, all of these events. And, you know, unfortunately, these events now, you know, they're bringing people to other towns, you know, but however, I think those were really catalyst to a big wave of people coming down. Wow, I really love this small town. It's happening.
It's true, because my grandparents had a place here, and we came one time during the Garlic Festival, and I had the garlic ice cream. My grandfather was like, let's try it, because he loved ice cream. And I was like, oh, I'm not trying it. It was so good. Yes. And it's just such a wonderful family-friendly event, like everything you put on. It's something all ages are welcome, and all ages have something to enjoy.
Totally agree.
You can drag your kids, you could drag your parents, grandparents, and everyone's going to have they're going to take something different away, but they're all going to leave happy.
And Garlic Fest was the first event that we launched in Delray, and that was 25 years ago. Yeah, hard to believe.
25?
Yeah.
I wasn't even born.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
No, but I think now you look at this event, Delray Fair.
Yeah.
I think this is like a world-renowned event.
Yes,
People come
it
from
is.
all over. I don't
Artists from
know.
all over,
You can
too.
give us the numbers because I just see pictures and I'm like, the sea is flooded of people. I mean, the streets are flooded. You know, it's like a sea of people out
And
there.
the thing about it too that I think a lot of people don't think about is it also supports all of the existing businesses in town. It's not just about the beautiful things happening down Atlantic, which it is a blast, but also all of our local downtown businesses. We get the traffic that's driven by this event that you're putting on.
Economic impact on the
Yes.
community. Yeah.
So for the people that's really like new to Delray, you know, talk about Delray Fair and give them your elevator pitch on why they should come out to the event.
Well, the Delray Fair is turning 62 years old this year. We've been contracted by the Chamber for 17 years to produce it. So the great thing about the Delray Fair, our footprint has decreased over the years due to traffic and due to different requirements that have changed from the city for us. We lost another block this year. We're no longer in front of the Colony Hotel. But what has happened as a result, we lost vendors, but we gained higher quality artists and exhibitors. During COVID, everybody kind of dropped off. Now it seems like there's a whole new influx of artists and crafters. So a lot of that buy-sell and inexpensive items are no longer, we still have a certain percentage, but most of those are gone. And it's a lot more of what Delray Fair originally was, as a high-end original art and crafts show.
That's amazing.
But we span from in front of the courthouse to southbound Federal Highway 5th. We go one block north and south of Atlantic. We attract an estimated over 100,000 people over the 3 days. So if you live in Delray, you might want to drive around the perimeters because those of you who complain about traffic, it's temporary.
It does get busy down here.
But one thing that we incorporated a few years ago that's worked really well is we have luxury shuttle buses that rotate all weekend long from Tri-Rail in the South County Complex on Congress, just south of Atlantic.
brilliant.
So it's a free shuttle. It drops you off right in front of the courthouse, picks you up there. You don't have to drive around town looking for a parking space. But we do still have, the parking garages available. The police explorers, we got permission for them to charge $5 as a fundraiser. Last year
That's
they made
nice.
about $20,000, so it was almost their whole budget for the year. So there's a lot of good things happening with that.
I like it because it's an event for the whole family.
Yes.
Like when you think of it's an art show, but it's not an art
It's not stuffy.
It's not
a
just
stuffy
it's not
art
stuffy.
show.
So it's not the
Right.
same because I think you go down there's a lot of food vendors.
Yes.
There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different type of vendors that you do have there, and that's why it's really good for the whole family. So don't think that it's just for your grandparents or.
I always buy
just older-
plants
you can
at the
bring
Delray
kids,
Fair.
So it's everything downtown
Yeah.
that you can imagine that you would want to do. I brought my family down there a couple of times, and we always have a
And
great
the
time.
artists come from around the world. So you have local artists, which we all love to support, but there's also people who live other places that you get to experience. And I mean, you have a very high percentage of returning people also.
Yeah, a good percentage, and that's kind of playing Chinese checkers a lot of time with the booth. We offer the returning vendors the opportunity to request their same booth space because the show is so massive that if you're coming back every year to get one of your dresses, they don't want to walk the whole show to find
just
you. They
wanna
want to
come to
know
you.
that which place that you're located. So we work really hard with the exhibitors to put them in the same location.
Yeah.
We require that they apply in advance, which is kind of good for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, I spoke to a vendor yesterday who was coming from Canada. This is her 24th year in the event.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's driving all the way from Canada, believe it or not.
She's driving.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And
dedication.
this is-
Artists do a circuit, they go up the coast. So, now as the summertime is coming, it's the county fairs, the art shows, the cherry festivals, all
And
that.
this is not a ticketed event.
No, free
This is
admission.
a free
Yeah.
admission. Just come on out. You have no excuses.
Yeah.
Nope. And you get some exercise walking and
Yes.
getting to see different things. Is there anything else that you think people need to know about Delray Fair?
No, we do have live music in a beer garden on the front lawn of Old School Square.
Oh, it's so fun over there.
That's where our big food court is on Swinton. We have another food court just east of the railroad tracks. That's where your conch fritter lady that comes from
they're so
the
delicious.
church has been in the event since I remember. And even though Old School Square is fenced in, there is no admission fee. It's just because we have alcohol there and, they want to keep it contained there. But
Yeah. So is there something with this event this year? Because I know you guys are always looking to top it or do something different from the previous years. What is that one thing this year that's different from the other that you're excited
the thing
about?
that's different is the quality of the artists and exhibitors. Yeah, it's
That's
like I
exciting.
said, first time in 17 years that we've had this quality of exhibitors. So we're hoping that we don't get pushback for people that don't. It's hard if you're an artist selling art for a couple $1,000s and there's somebody selling jewelry for $10 or $15. It's difficult for them. But this is a fundraiser for the chamber over the years, and we have a budget to meet. So a lot of times we had to accept people that we wouldn't normally accept. But this year, most of those exhibitors have not. And anyone that is a business, like the window people and things like that, those are sponsors. So they get to be intermingled within the artist because they pay to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I like
Wonderful.
it. I like
Well,
it.
thank you for all your hard work. You and your team work, like the second it's over, they start again for next year. It doesn't end.
In for 2025.
Before it even starts, they're on to the next year. So we really
Ready to
appreciate
go.
all of your efforts and all that you do for our
Thanks, and you
town.
guys too.
Thank you,
We
Miss
all right.
Nancy.
And he didn't
We're just
take me
here.
with him to get at work on my tan.
I know he
You good.
was neglecting.
Call you caramel honey.
I'm gonna make you a name tag that says that, Nancy. No longer are you Nancy. You are now
Awesome.
Caramel
Yes.
Honey.
Thank you very much, Nancy.
Yes, can't
Yes.
wait to shop.
Thank
Let's
you.
go.
Thank you. It is one of the most fun events of the year, and it really is a great time. Even if you come for 5 minutes, you gotta come check it
I
out.
wish we filmed on a weekend so that we can just set up and film live at the Delray Fair.
That's a great idea, Louise. Louise, we have more work. I mean, it would be so fun. I
So
think
much fun.
because there's so many interesting people. It's such a great event. I mean, we can go with our phone and we can go film.
I think it'd be really nice.
I
really
agree.
nice. But like we always say, there's a lot of great things happening in this town.
Always.
So always happening. So we just got to keep it going. And once again, I have to tell you guys, have a Delray Day. Peace out. We love you. Go. Chicka, chicka, chicka.
I invite you to join me at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, because here, we're all about community. With like-minded people and businesses, the Chamber will help your business grow, and you get to connect with people that will become your best friends. Weekly events give you ample opportunities to learn alongside talented professionals. At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, we are better together. Become a member at delraybeach.com.